Yo, 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 yo. Yo, yo. What's good with this? The homie Mac. Music, art, culture, knowledge. Each one, teach one, peace and love. Thumbs up, give me the likes. Thumbs up, give me the likes. It's the homie Mac. Reporting live from the Dogon. You know what it is. Subscribe. Watch this whole session of Mackin with Mac, the book review series. Today I will be reviewing The Way of the Superior Man by David Deida, D-E-I-D-A. This is the 20th anniversary edition. Let's see. Give y'all a little bit more insight. It was, let's see. Give me 1 second. Published by Sounds True. Yeah, published by Sounds True. This is a really, not gonna lie, this was a tough read for me. I found out about this book through Nipsey Hussle's reading list. R.I.P. Nip. Yeah. Again, this was a tough read. In the sense of, I thought it was really good when it talked about men holding themselves accountable, men mastering their lower selves, men mastering their desires, men overcoming themselves, men manifesting their full potential. One theme that pops up that's very ubiquitous throughout this book is he keeps saying a man should give his gift to the world. And the way I processed that was to mean your skill sets, your calling, your ability, you give that to the world. And the more you give it to the world, I'm a Christian, so I'm not necessarily into the universe and the earth. Like, no, I believe, the more you give, the more you give to people, the more God will bless you. I don't subscribe to the whole universe thing. I know a lot of people do, and that's cool if you do. I just don't. The only thing I did not like about this book is I felt like he's basically saying, and maybe later on if I revisit this book, my perception will change, but I feel like there's a lot of like female leanings, a lot of pandering to women in this book, because I feel like he's basically telling men, like, look, a woman will always test you, a woman will always try to nudge you and make sure that you're manifesting your potential, and I think that's bogus. I don't think any man should be with a woman that's constantly playing games with him. I don't think a man should be with a woman that's constantly trying to test him. My woman needs to be somebody I can bounce ideas off of, and she can challenge me. That's cool. But to have like these schemes to test me, to test my manhood, like, I'm not dealing with that. Who wants to be with a woman that's constantly testing them? Like, for example, I feel like he's basically saying women are temperamental, women are not logical, women say anything in the moment, and you have to just accept that. And I understand as human beings, people say things that they don't mean all the time because they're in an emotional frenzy, but we still have to hold people accountable for their words, and people need to try to be better. That's male or female. But the example that he gave in this book is a man is having sex with his wife, and they're like out in the woods, and his wife is like, I want you to come inside me. And the husband's like, well, shoot, okay. So he comes inside her, and then he talks about how his wife was disappointed, and she was discontent or upset, vexed even, over the fact that her man didn't resist the temptation of ejaculation, and instead he just ejaculated inside her per her request. And I'm just thinking, I ain't got time for crap like that. Like, you ain't. I just thought that was bogus. I think a lot of the language in here, it's metaphysical. It's kind of sappy to me. A lot of guys I know that have read this book, they said they kind of had a difficult time with the language. Let me see. see if I can give an example. He uses terms about flowing love and releasing your love into your woman, and a man, like just a lot of, I didn't think it was necessarily hard to process, but I thought it was kind of like fantasy. Your love, producing your love, releasing your love, and I'm just kind of like, all right, white man, okay. But no, I don't think this is a terrible book. I think it gives a healthy perspective. I think there's a lot of pandering to women. I feel like he just pretty much says you should just kind of be like an emotional dumping ground for women. And you just need to deal with it. And I think that's BS. I think a lot of that, it can become abusive. And I feel like there's a common sentiment that there's no onus placed on the disrespectful or the person that's tripping. The person that is being egregious, there's no onus on them. It's just the person that's being tested and disrespected. Like, they have to be the ones to show self-restraint and be strong. And that makes them the bigger, better person. No, I don't know. I think the disrespectful and the people who are playing games, they need to check themselves and do better. But let me quote some things from this book. Never base your plans on what a woman says she wants to do, unless she is in the full flow of love when she says it. Remember that a woman's feelings may be more sensitive to an unseen realm of nature than are yours. Try to differentiate between your woman's shifting moods and her sensitive wisdom. I thought that was insightful. I think there is a lot of wisdom in this book. But again, like a lot of it, I think is kind of idealistic. Let me find something. Like, he's big on talking about like the masculine principle and the feminine principle, and I'm cool with that because I do feel like at the end of the day, he does say that there needs to be like equity and balance and equilibrium. Kind of like I guess with like the African mythology of Geb and Newt, how the masculine and the feminine, they balance each other out to bring balance to the universe or Earth, specifically the Earth. And I'm cool with that. You know, he does talk about how the masculine and the feminine principles need to complement one another. But again, with this whole, I feel like there's a lot of pandering to women in here. I kind of almost feels like he says like a woman is here just to test you, and you need to be okay with that. And again, I'm not cool with that. The mind games, the mental gymnastics, I ain't got time for that. Say what you mean what you say. I understand, we're human. Sometimes we have emotions and we say things we don't mean or we act out of character. So there needs to be grace extended between both parties. What I thought was interesting is how he was saying, I think at one point in his book he talks about sex and how pretty much to be sexually compatible there has to be someone who is dominant and someone who's submissive, and sometimes those roles can switch. I thought that was pretty unique. I never really looked at it like that, I guess. Or at least I never consciously thought about that. Some other things. Yeah, like this is something, when I talk about the, like, really dude type stuff, this is one of them. He said, every time she sucks you into an uncontrollable need to ejaculate, she has conquered you. She controls you and masters you. She is in charge sexually, no matter what manly gestures you make before ejaculating. I think that's dumb AF to say that a woman is in control. Like, if I'm not enjoying sex, I'm not going to ejaculate. The fact that I'm ejaculating is showing that I'm enjoying her in the sexual encounter. But stuff like that, with the simple flick of her tongue, a silky moan, or a slurping tilt of her pelvis, she can drain you of life, and deep down she knows the world can do the same to you. Huh? I can get it from the perspective of controlling yourself, controlling your sexual desires, and not wanting to be manipulated because of your desires for sex. Having self-control, I can understand that. But my woman does not need to be testing me in context of that while we're having sex. That's just inane to me. That is bogus. But yeah, I get what he's saying as far as like self-denial, sex being more of a free-flowing experience in the sense of it's a spiritual connection. It's not just like lust. So when he speaks on that in context of sex, I get it. I rock with that. I think sex is more enjoyable when there's a deeper rooted connection and it's not just lustful. So I can rock with that. But again, he talks about overcoming your fears, about standing up to yourself as a man. And he does say something I thought was very poignant in his book. He talks about how there will always be work to do. No matter how far advanced we get, no matter how much we grow, there will always be deeper depths and higher heights, more we need to learn, more we need to unlearn. We're always going to be on a learning curve. It's like, what is it? Isaac Aftermoth said, education is something you never finish. It's kind of like that with human growth and development. It's ongoing. So just the way I looked at it is, you'll never be perfect. You just have to be making sure that you're moving forward, one step at a time. Yeah, I guess if you're like a red pill guy, I mean, you probably won't like this book. You'll see some of the value in it as far as like self-development for men denying themselves, men conquering themselves. What they say, when you master yourself, the world comes to you. So yeah, I'm cool. I'm good with that from that perspective. But again, I can't say it enough. There's a lot of female pandering. Well, I'm sorry. There are a lot of pandering to women. I'm trying to stop using the word female, but I mean no harm. But yeah, I thought there's not a lot of onus placed on women in this book. I think the onus is kind of squarely placed on men to carry the relationship, to carry the love, to solidify everything, and I don't think that's fair. I feel like he puts more of it on the man. And I understand like a man needs to be fearless, he needs to be strong, but I feel like, again, he's talking about the masculine and the feminine, and I think the two should build each other up. There are no Christed figures out here walking on water. Everybody has growth, myself included. We all need to, if I love you, I have to be willing to invest in you. I pour into you, you pour into me. We fill in the gaps for one another. But yeah, The Way of the Superior Man. Pick it up. The Way of the Superior Man, a spiritual guide to mastering the challenges of women, work, and sexual desire. Yeah, and another thing that I like that he talked about in his book, a lot of times our how do I say it? We won't necessarily even feel fulfilled by achievements, by things, by accomplishments. A lot of it has to be about your growth spiritually. How is your character? What type of person are you? Are you giving? Are you loving? Do you build or do you just destroy? Like, I thought that was good that he brought up the fact that fulfillment, it comes through spiritual growth and development and not just through tangible things or achievements. But yeah, it's the homie Mac. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Subscribe to the YouTube channel 82 Kings. Each one teach 9. I normally say each one teach 1, but somebody told me, and I thought it was pretty profound. They said each one teach 9. So we teach one another. Keep it going, keep it going. Signing out from the Dogon, it's the homie Mac. Music, art, culture, knowledge. I'm out.